like this, it's as a result of what you have seen all your life. When we speak about Lamborghini and Ferrari, some of you already frown like, Toyota Celica, he told me. Do you know your sight and your sound affect your dream? Can we read together? I want to go.
Then there was a famine in the
days of David. 3 years.
Year after year. And David inquired of the Lord. And the Lord answered, it is for Saul and for his bloody house, because he slew the Gibeonites. And the king
called the Gibeonites and said unto them, Now the Gibeonites were not of the children of Israel, but of the remnants of the Amorites. And the children of Israel had sworn unto them, and Saul sought to slay them in his zeal to the children of Israel and Judah. Wherefore David said unto the Gibeonites, What shall I do for you, and wherewith shall I make the atonement, that ye may bless the inheritance of the Lord? And the Gibeonites said unto him, We will have no silver nor gold of Saul, nor of his house, neither for us shalt thou kill any man in Israel. And he said, What shall ye say that will I do for you? And they answered the king, The man that consumed us, and that devised against us, that we should be destroyed from the remaining in any of the coast of Israel. Let 7 men of his son be delivered unto us, and we will hang them up in the Lord in Gibeah of Saul, whom the Lord did choose. And the king said, I will give them. But the king spared Mephibosheth, the son of Jonathan, the son of Saul, because of the Lord's oath that was between them, between David and Jonathan, the son of Saul.
Hallelujah. I was in a certain kind of prayer when this came. And while I was praying, the Lord told me a certain price to pay. I'm coming. You will see why most of us think prayers delay. The Lord told me a certain price to pay, and the price is way different from anything I've ever done before. I've done fasting. I'm accustomed to it. Although fasting ain't the master anybody. You can just be there and say, they are pastors. That's why they can just stay for how many days without eating. Fasting is a respecter of no anointing. And this is what Lucifer or devil understand and brought stone to Jesus and said, turn it to bread. Because at that point, Baba they collect. And he brought what Baba will need. So if if hunger did not take it easy on Jesus, who is you? Who are you? You get it now? You get it? So I know some of you say, he's Papa now, he's used to it. He did 90 days, which day here? You know the funniest thing? By strength shall no man prevail. Hallelujah. So I wanted to start for the year because I understand the times and season. I'll show you one of the uniqueness of the sons of Issachar. And this is what I want to use to pray with us at the tail end of everything. But then, the Lord now told me, okay, what I'll require from you in the year would be, you are going to, all through the year, do this, do that, do this, do that, do this, do that. The funniest thing is that I'd never done it before. In this era, it's almost like killing a man. As in killing yourself. And you know the funniest thing? He allowed me to be eating and drinking. Yet you know you are dead. Dead to the outside world. Then I began to ask. And the Lord said, do you know why it seems as if prayers are not answering? I want to show you one of the secrets. Then I was listening. Okay. Then he took me to this verse of the Bible. Then he said to me, he said, look at here. So the Bible was speaking in the book of 2 Samuel. The place we read, 2 Samuel. Thank you. 2 Samuel 21, 1 to 7. Just read only one. Let's just read one again together. I want to show you something now. One. Just one. Just one. From the table, just one. I want us to read together. Let's be seeing it together. I could search through all eternity long and find
There is none like you.
Okay, you can read it for me from there.
Then there was a famine in the days of David 3 years.
So there was famine in the days of David. How many years?
3 years.
Remember, David was the anointed, right? Was David the anointed? No, please answer me. Was David the anointed?
Yes, sir.
Answer me. Was David the anointed?
Yes, sir.
And the Bible said there was famine 3 years in the time of David. Yet he was the anointed. There was famine. There was a law of legality standing there. By the time we are through with today's service, some of you will not need to pray for your next level. You just go and beg. You just go and beg. You can offend some people. That's where your life expires. And most of us want to always claim that we are the one that they will offend and people's life will expire. Yet you don't even know. For 3 years, he was anointed by a major prophet. The same prophet that people will see and call a god. And he was anointed in that dimension. Oil wasted on his head. 3 years. 3 years. And the Bible said there was no rain in the land. I thought you were anointed. And there were prophets there. I thought you were anointed. There was no rain in the land. Guess what? The Bible was speaking, and the Bible said he inquired of the Lord. This is where the Lord was pointing me to. The Lord said, do you know, Sinbo, that sensitivity at this end time is better than the kind of prayer you people pray? I think I've been having some kind of issues with the kind of prayer we pray these days. Right? And it seems as if this year I've just been hitting on the prayer. Because I'm an oracle. I'm a prophet. And when I want to hear God, I know the kind of prayer that you used to hear God. And I've seen plenty prophets. The same thing. How can you hear God with so much rowdiness? You can't. It should be once in a while, not every time. And this is what we see and we call prayer. It's just a sign that these people never hear God. They never hear God. And the Lord said, they never inquire of me. The Lord said, sensitivity. If you are sensitive, it's better than this prayer. This prayer we are praying. Just for a long time, I've lost prayer point. I don't have prayer point. For a long time, if I just get there, is Lord, I love you. Lord, I love you. Lord, I love you. Then I speak in tongues. Lord, I love you. Lord, I pour out my love. And he get my life done. You know? He get my life done. And he said, they don't inquire. You can be anointed and suffer for 3 years. Guess what? Are you aware that the time frame that God gave to the Israelites to cross the Red Sea was supposed to be 40 days? Became 40 years. Because they complained. Okay, let's forget about that. How about the 400 years? They were supposed to be there 400 years, but they stayed 430 years. Why did Daniel go and pray? He noticed that this time was running out. And Daniel started praying also in his own era. Because, oh my God, if you do not inquire, you think you can just be in the problem and be crying. And you think God will faint because you are crying. You are not the first crier. You will never be the last. You are not the top 1,000 crier. You are not. Some of you boys think you can win some ladies. Some ladies can be lying and look at you like and begin to cry. Have you seen people that sometimes I used to wonder where women bring it from? It's like when you are still trying to cry, I know some of you have tried to cry in worship. And at the tail end of it, Kolo Judah. I just see some person, I love you, Lord, with all my heart. And and you just see tears rushing out. So I'm one of those persons. But aside from worship, do you know what I was doing in my mother's remembrance? Eating food. I bought the food, hello, and I saw they were just sharing it, and I keep some meat for me, please. And I was eating because I'm trying to remember her. There's pain in my heart. I must pour it on the meat. Do you love Jesus this morning? There's pain in my heart. Except from everywhere you can see tears is here. Here. My prayer room, the prayer, or we are praying. That's all. You cry. You think this can cajole God. Oh Lord, then you begin to blackmail God. Oh Lord, if you do not do it, I'll kill myself. And I could trust God, he will not talk. Because you are not the first to die. They give birth to a child, day one, he died. They give birth to, some will even use few months, they die. Then how do you think your own is scaring God? How will your own scare God? And God told me, God said, this is not the way. He said, I have answered them, but they are not sensitive enough. So David would pray for 3 years. 3 years it lingered. Guess what? That problem was not supposed to last for 3 years. The problem would have continued with Israel to date if they did not inquire. That's why some things have gone generation to generation to generation. When you do you think God loves this poverty? This kind of poverty that is upon your family. You think God loves it? Or you think he glorifies God? Or is it barrenness? Is it backwardness? Where people are struggling, where they are making effort, yet nobody is standing. You think God is happy with it? But nobody has inquired. Nobody has inquired. After 3 years, David understood that. No, now you must get to the point where you exhaust yourself, then ask question. Do you know asking God question is different from questioning God? Do you know why God was angry at Job? Job was questioning God. But what I'm saying is asking God, Baba, why this thing be like this now? Why? Do you know if God tell you to wait, there will still be faith bubbling up inside of you? Oh, next week Sunday is amazing. It's amazing. These 3 revelatory Sundays, I want to work on you. For 3 years, the man is anointed. Yet, the Bible said there was famine. There was no rain. And he went and inquired of the Lord. After he must have prayed for years. Fast. Or you think David does not fast? Remember when he sinned against God? And God did not even tell him to fast. He went and began to fast. So David was accustomed to fasting. David was accustomed to prayer. But at this point, this would not save David. So he inquired. He inquired. And by the time he went to inquire, the Lord said to him, the Bible says, because Saul killed the Gibeonite. Please follow me. Are you here or you went home? Remember, not because David killed the Gibeonite. Because Saul killed the Gibeonite. So it means you can remain in perpetual suffering because of the sin of others. And when God will look at that sin, God will see the father in you. They are not even from the same house. So a man can suffer for what the king of the village did, yet the king of the village is not in his lineage. He said because Saul killed the Gibeonite. Why did he kill the Gibeonite? Why was God angry? There was a treaty. There was a covenant with Israel and the Gibeonite that you will not kill us. And Saul went to appease some of the people and he killed the Gibeonite. And the Bible says, oh my God. I want to show you something. Are you aware that the Gibeonites were staying in the coast also of Jerusalem, of Israel? So when there was no rain for 3 years, the Gibeonites were there too. They were suffering. But they know the root cause. But But these people never inquired. And they joined them and suffered for 3 years. There's somebody that knows the cause. The person may still be alive. Adaba, that's okay. Oh, Adaba. There's somebody that knows the root cause. And the guy is suffering with them. So they went to meet the Gibeonites. They say, oh, the Lord has said that Saul killed, not me. Oh. The Lord said that Saul killed some of your people against the covenant you had with Saul. So what shall we do? They say, today you will not kill any of the Israelites. Today you will not kill anybody in the house of, but go to the house of Saul and fetch me 7 men. 7. So they had the price to pay somewhere. Oh, they had the price to pay for this situation somewhere. They kept it. They said one day they will come. No be rain, nobody will go endure. Now go collect. After all, you were the ones that live in the palace, in the king's house. The complaint gets to you. They said, bring 7 men. 7 men from the house of Saul. And the Bible said, David looked round. Why not go and pray? Why not pray? When Samuel left, Nathan was there with David. Why not tell Nathan about it? But covenant is covenant. At that time, covenant is covenant. So if you don't even understand the power, that's why some persons will come to church and say, I want to give this. I want to give this. And they just walk away. And I begin to pray, oh Lord, show them mercy. Oh Lord, show them mercy. Because they don't know. I can't be praying for you. And you are busy carrying every cause. Some of it because you just want to feel among. Then what fair? Nobody call you. You come outside like you have a ania. I'm dropping 100,000 on the altar of God. That's why now I've devised a means of forgiving people before they even drop it. So what do? I say don't write their name. Just leave them. Just leave them. Oh. Then I begin to pray for them because I understand what they are doing, but they don't understand. Because they've come with a fair girl that did pink lip. And they want the girl to know that they are a monk. You don't need to do that. If you are not a monk today, you can be a monk tomorrow. There are many that you have not been a monk, that you have been a monk, that the lady was not even in church. That's not your fault. She didn't come since. They ready the sacrifice there. They say 7 men in the house of Saul. Go and pray, go and pray, David. You can never avert this. Go and be fasting. You can never avert it. Do you know what God taught me there? God taught me that every prayer point has its price. Every prayer point has its price. You just think the shortcut is always to pray and fast because that one is free. If the prayer and fasting is the price for everything, go to Orioke Rio. Go to Idoile. I thought I was praying. When I was even more energetic than this, I thought I was praying. The only thing I know that I did more than a lot of them there was fast. Because when we were fasting, we were even hiding from them. But you see that prayer, I was, Yoruba, they pray. You just see them inside the rain like this. You just sleep. 2 hours, you wake up, you see the guy. And the Bible says he saved Mephibosheth. Only Mephibosheth because of the see technical. See the devil again. He had a covenant with Jonathan that anybody under you, I'll keep them. So by the time they counted, if you read 7, by the time they counted, Mephibosheth was supposed to be the 7th person. He removed Mephibosheth. Because if he had killed Mephibosheth, another problem again in Israel. Because of the covenant he had with Jonathan. Are you here or you went home? Because of the covenant. Every prayer point has its dues. Every prayer point has its dues. That's why if God is going to use anybody mightily, God would even drop a due for the person. God will drop a due for the person. The only day I will never ever see vision in my life is the day I take alcohol and I swallow it. Do you know I'm saying it? You know if you hold my nose, put down now. Oh, let me know me. That's the only day. If not, I'll be in the toilet. Some of you like this, that have given you life direction, that have changed your life like this. I was in the toilet. And I told you, the angel that appeared to my parents, they say you're going to give birth to a prophet. And no alcohol must touch his mouth. And I grew up, I thought it was natural. I just hate alcohol. Now, no offense to every one of you that love it. Unless you buy, man change. Don't go and repent. Say it's one bottle. My brother started one bottle. Now he's in crate. Anything you are doing, you will be promoted. It's a sign of life. You will grow. You will grow in the name of Jesus. You don't know that this prayer is in all ways. And the angel came and the angel said, you must not take alcohol. And while growing up, that's why I hate parties. Because when the smell come, my God, one day I put my hand inside small stout. I said, what is this? What happened to malt? How would you leave this sweet thing? But it's a covenant. I told you one story here where Pastor Eli went, bought one alcoholic wine. He didn't know. What you were doing, eh? He bought the alcoholic wine, so he brought it to the house. So I just came to my dining table. I saw the alcoholic wine. I looked at it. The tore where they wrote alcohol, I think it peeled that cover. So I looked at it, no alcohol content. Well, I opened it. I poured it. I tried to swallow. I could not. Moses was in my house. I said, there's something with this. I said, this thing. It's either this thing is poisoned or there's something with this. I said, who brought it? They say it's Eli. I said, no, Eli cannot poison me. If now you, I said, no, Eli cannot poison me. But there's something with this. So I went to the kitchen sink. I tried to, I opened my mouth. The thing fell down. I said, why can't I swallow this thing? I don't even understand how those alcohol things used to be. So Moses brought it, took it, go. He swallowed it. He said, this thing has alcohol. I said, how were you able to swallow it? And I could not swallow it. Then we were looking for the alcohol content. We now saw, is it 10% or something? I believe 5% or whatever. Like 6%, I don't know. They wrote it there. I said, oh yes, this is the cause. And I poured everything away. You think everything is prayer. That's why you can pray and you are not sensitive. You are not getting results. Just like the Israelites. There are some things that you owe the Gibeonite. You must be sensitive enough to capture it. If you do not capture it, you just be praying. You'll be going from program to program. From help to help. And you know that there's no progress in your life. How many years have we said this is your year? Yet Saul killed the Gibeonite. And God is demanding it from you, David. Your Saul killed a Gibeonite. And God is demanding it from you, David. Are you here? You went home. So we are still talking about the dew, right? So the price was set even when they were suffering, right? So there are two types of due. The first due is the immediate due. That immediate due is for immediate promotion. Immediate promotion. Then the second due is for future promotion. Have you seen those? One of my sons was saying yesterday when we were about to pray overnight till this morning, and I think it was Pastor Pelumi was saying, God, I don't want a blessing, I want miracle. I think we're there together. He said, God, I use God beg you. Yes, pastors too can get to that level. He said, God, I use God beg you. I don't want blessing. Blessing is a long time thing. I want miracle. Miracle is just twa. I say, it's a miracle working God. There's price for the one of miracle according to his definition, and there's price for blessing, the one that is to come in the future. I can tell you intentionally how I got to where I got to, and I can tell you every limitation that has limited me. Some of the price for the immediate one, my God, these are things that you can look down on and they'll ruin your life. These are things that you can look down on and they'll ruin your life. Imagine the woman was without a child, and the woman just saw the prophets going, and the woman just thought about it. And the woman just thought about it. I sense that you are a holy man of God. Come and take a room. Come and take food. Nobody sensed that except God sent them. Sometimes you must be sensitive enough to know the price to pay. Most times it will be given to you while you are in that prayer yourself. Sometimes while you are thinking about it. Elisha was passing, asking no help, and he said, I sense you are a holy man of God. Come and take food. Come and take room. And Elisha was leaving, and he said, by this time, that's why when the child died, he wrote back to Elisha and he said, have you mocked me? Now, you see my problem, you give me pikin, now the pikin don't die. You must be able to pick what can solve immediate problem, and you must be able to enter covenant that will solve long-time blessings. Yahweh, Rapha, Elohim, Shaddai, Jireh, Adonai, come manifest. I'm not sure there's any worker. I'm not sure there's any worker in the church I served that served more than me. I'm not sure. You can't have dignity like me and serve more than me. I was older than a lot of them. They didn't know. I'm saying this on camera. I was older than a lot of them. They didn't know. Do you know why? God gave me the expo. He said, you want men to serve you? He said, serve men. That's why I can look at my choir and tell them all of you are witches. And I know that it's only the witch that will live. Now even witch self did not live again. Because there's a covenant on my head. You can be saying, you those witches in the choir, and the witches say, they don't know what is tying them down. They don't know what is tying them down. The witches can even be saying, now you go leave this church for us. You never see anything. One of my friends called me, Dunsin. He called me and he said, Johnson. Yeah. He called me and I said, God has been good to us. Our workers are really working. Our workers are giving their best. In fact, they are making the job. I think this was like 4 or 5 years ago. I was telling him this. I said, their dedication. He said, why are you surprised? Have you forgotten your dedication? That's why I pity those that have the call of God here. And they just come when we resume. They just come when we close. And they go when we close. I pity you. Don't worry. You will be anointed. But you will set your sound. You do hello, testing, 1, 2, check. I'm telling you. Don't go and serve. Don't go and serve. You do hello, 1, 2, testing. Two. To now show you that because you did not serve, the day you climb out, I say, somebody shall fire. Somebody will go there and lower your voice. You don't pray for these things, you pay for these things. There are things you pay for, there are things you pray for. When everybody will be in the house by 11, I'm still driving. I'm driving a bus that has no brake. I was paying. It was a long time thing. I was paying. Sometimes the bus will now hook inside Potopoto by like 11:30, 12. I hear me. You know, and you are the driver. I'll now come down. Now beg somebody. That's how I taught people how to drive. And now beg somebody. This is where you mash. I've put it already in gear 1. And then at one point there was no gear safe. But I was still driving it. Because of my father's house experience. We don't drive scrap. So there was this iron who push it. Listen to the sound if you do. And then realize now gear 1 be that. I was still driving it. Inside Potopoto, I'll be pushing. In my heart, I say, Lord, you have said you have called me. Oh Lord, give me men that will serve me like this too. Give me men that will serve me like this too. That's why if a pastor leave here because of fear of service, I tell you, he will go. Because anything you sow, you will reap it. You will reap it. Now, I'm not scaring these guys. These guys are not going anywhere. I know these guys. We still discussed it yesterday. This guy. It took God for me to even take Peter away from me. You see, brother. You will never know how it is. Some of you think ministries enjoy your life. See how all of you are looking fresh. Some of you, there's nobody here that will not take breakfast this morning because you came late. Except for the meeters and greeters. You all look good, by the way. There's nobody here that will not take breakfast this morning. You see me from yesterday night. From yesterday night. I'm not saying I'm not human. Then I remember that Sunday service. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. But you see me now with is this Balenciaga? And that's what you are thinking in your head. Have you just be pastor like this? Just the rock Balenciaga. You go collect, you go balance. I've said it before. I said some of the things I do here is deceit. The real thing is behind the curtain. Is it food? Have you ever forgotten for like 2 days that you have not eaten? Thank God for my wife. Maybe I don't die. I will just be preaching here and slum. No, I'm telling you, no matter how much you pay, you pray, you can't pay it. Prayer cannot pay it. And payments cannot pray it. There's a place for payment. There's a place for prayer. I was there. How about this wealth? How about this money? 2012, I will be in the church and I'll be praying, oh Lord. Oh, because now I already accepted 2012 that I'm already a prophet. Now I've seen the prophet in my house. So I wanted to know the mind of God concerning my life story. concerning what is happening to me. Then I began to tell God, help me. Help me. I know that I'm suffering today. But let this suffer not kill me. I know I'll survive today's suffer. How about tomorrow? I say, Lord, help me for my future, for my future, for my future. And the Lord will say, anything that you love, drop it. Imagine staying under that covenant where God is saying, anything you love, give it out. So sometimes I deceive myself that I don't love this, I don't love this, I don't love this. And God said, give it out. Because I don't love this, I don't love this. Do you know how worse my case was? Some of you have heard this story. Let me say it again. One day, I pray. And I say, God should bless me and enlarge my cause. Guess what? I saw Baba Adeboye appear to me. And he said, Sinbo, you will never be successful in business. I say, Ekpe. I cannot say back to sender. Because I know who he was. But I say, Ekpe. And he said, you can never be successful in business. And I had already ordered 5 wash that I want to start wash business. Adaba, that's okay, Adaba. You know, when my wash land from Lagos, I wasn't hearing God much like this. But I don't know how God cleaned my ear. I was now hearing him more. As my wash land like this from Lagos, 5 wash, bam. I was just walking like this. God said, see that one hand. I said, one by wash. God said, give him one. I give him. My pastor was preaching, shout fire, shout fire. I saw the hand, no wash. The voice came again and said, have you seen your pastor? How do you have 4 wash? Out of the 5, 4, your pastor did not have 1. Give him the best. I gave to him. I was going again. One of my brothers that we used to pray together, prayer bomb. We were just praying. He was doing. I saw the hand empty. The Lord spoke to me, said, give him 1. I gave him 1. Now remaining 2. I was discussing with teenager. God said, give him 1. The moment I gave him the 1, and I said, this is what I have, Lord, help me. I want to do business. This sapa is too much. This sapa is too much. And the Lord said to me, the Lord said, remember my covenant with you. You will never prosper in business. He said, I will feed you till you die. And you will lack nothing. So many people ask me, where are you getting money from? I don't know. But Pelumi is here. And he knows the obvious about the tithe and the offering. If you ask Pelumi, I think yesterday you were saying that you people need something in Ondo, that you need some amount, right? I don't want to say it as it is. While he was saying it, I didn't involve myself because it's Pelumi, Nathan that are in that jurisdiction. Then Pelumi say, sir, you are saying this money as if that's how the money is. Do you know? How am I blessed? I don't know. Don't know. Among my prophecy book, God still told me, God said, there's somebody that is bringing money for you today. He said, pray for him with all your heart. And you go, don't dream, see him now. I just told you, so you don't think you are coming to surprise me. Forget that surprise. I don't know. The last wash, I closed my ear that nothing God won't talk. And they said this one. Nothing. I went to meet my roommate. I said, they buy wash? I go buy out. He deposited money with me. He collected the wash, he wore it. Then he came back to me. Oh boy, no food was. So I gave him the money back. He now used it to cook Indomie for 2 of us to eat. While I was eating the Indomie, Tell somebody, say, pay the price. Pay the price. Have you seen those things that just come as inspiration when you are thinking of your prayer point? You see those things, but because you are too wicked, you are thinking of your loss. You are too wicked, you are thinking of your loss. I told you what happened here in this Akure. The first time I came here to this Akure, I didn't know anywhere. 2016 December, entering 2017. I didn't know anywhere. I didn't know anything. I had dropped them here in Akure. I went back to Kogi. By the time that 2016 December, you know, the Christmas, all those time, I wanted to go to church. So I asked, which church can I go? Big church. They say, we have Agape Christian Center. But Agape is not of God. That's what the guy told me. And I know something, that any church they said is not of God, God is there. You should write this in your book. How to know where God is where people say there's no God. They just don't understand the manifestation there. I've seen people in these streets that try to test me. Then they try check out. One came to me, sat down. He said, talk to me. I heard you are a prophet. I said, I was taken in the realm of the spirit. I was taken to a school. I described the school, described the uniform. He adjusted his seat. He looked around. Who is telling me? He's late now. The man opposite here. After all the description, I told him some things. After everything, he stood up. He looked at me again. He went out. He said, please, my younger brother is a pastor. Can I bring him too? This man that owns this school here, he came to me too. He sat down. And he said, speak to me. Minister to me. A service. By the time I came here to Akure, I got to the church. Agape. Because they say God was not there. I wanted to go to where God was not. Because I know that that's the exact place you find God. I got into the place. Everybody sat down like normal. And the Lord told me, the Lord said, empty yourself. There's gold on the floor now. He said, empty your, see you. He said, now, to know the time, now. He said, there's gold on the floor now. He said, empty yourself now. I went straight to the altar. I dropped what I had. And what I had was an apology. Because as at then, she was already using some kind of cars. She was already using some kind of car. So I know that what I have cannot buy side mirror. Maybe to pump the tires. As at then, I dropped it. I went home. By the time I got home, I was even asking who is by my side. Are you seeing any golden? Because sometimes I used to feel as if what I'm seeing, you are seeing it. I got home, I slept. An angel came to wake me up. He said, carry that seed again. I now saw the scene replay again. Like I was still in Agape again. I tell you, I emptied myself that I was looking for who would drop me. And I was willing to trek. From Agape to Leo. By the time I got home, after the dream repeated itself again, I heard the voice of God. And he said, this woman has suffered in this Akure. This woman has suffered. I even heard she hawk with her firstborn. She hawked with her firstborn. And God said, because you have done this, you have removed yourself from that suffering from beginning. Just be enjoying. If you are counting pastors that suffer in Akure, don't count me. It's just for some time. Imagine where people are saying, I suffer for 15 years, I suffer for 10 years, I suffer for this, I suffer for that. I realized that even when I said I was suffering, I was living in the best house in the street. As at 2017, I was living in the best house in the street. 2018, I was still in the best house in Leo. 2019, I collected 2-bedroom flat, 2 together. I say, let me move to GRA. And as I heard that Mommy Funke Adejumo was a neighbor, I was very, very glad to pay. And one day I wanted to go and testify and say, oh, see, Mommy. Then I saw 2 mopo following her. I know what they will do to me. So I just passed and I said, good day, ma. I just passed because those police were not smiling. They just bone as if I'm the one owing their salary. Price. Imagine if I'm here and I'm doing koto koto kuru koto koto papa. You go suffer. You will pay and you will pray. If you can just be like the Israelites that made inquiry, 2 Samuel 21. If you can just be like the Israelites that made inquiry and ask, where is this thing coming from? I'm telling you, you'll be safe from a lot of suffer. You'll be safe from a lot of. And just listen. What do you want of me? What do you want of me? Sometimes God wants to strip you of a glory now because of glory of later. And He has spoken to you. That moment you start praying, He has spoken. He has spoken. And I'll prove it to you. Are you ready? Okay. Okay, let me say this first before I prove it to you. You remember the story of Elijah? He said, go to so place, a widow, I think Zarephath, right? And he said, I have commanded her to feed you, right? Then he didn't say what Elijah should do for her. But do you know that Elijah going there, God would have dropped Elijah in that same place and be feeding Elijah. But somebody was there praying. And God would have done, He said, I have commanded her. But when Elijah got there, Elijah told her, she didn't hear. She had not heard. She didn't hear from God. I had commanded her to feed you. I thought God commanded you, I should come and you prepare a table before me. And now I am here now. There's no table. Now you are not even showing love. Instead, you are telling me bad news. That the last that is in the house, you want to give it to you. I am God's servant. I am God's servant, directed by God, saying that He has spoken to you to feed me. And now you have not heard God. Not knowing that prayer answer was not just for Elijah, but it was to preserve the woman. I know some of you have made excuses. And you say the reason why there have been no rain in Israel, or the reason why my life had no blessing for 3 years now, is because of change of government. That's your excuse. It's because of change of government. Nigeria is bad. Let me travel abroad. I'm telling you, you are going to say verily, abroad is bad. Abroad is not how they call it. Oh, that's how plenty of people say. Abroad is not the way they see it. Oh, abroad is not the way. I'm telling you, if you take a dry man to a fertile ground, that ground will be dry. And if you take a man that is anointed on his head, the Bible says, let your head lack no ointment. If your head lack ointment, go and start a ministry in somewhere that is very, very flourishing. I'm telling you, one man turned ouchie. One man turned ouchie to where people are visiting. Apostle Suleiman turned ouchie. Do you know ouchie before? Do you know ouchie before? All those ouchie ekpoma abandoned, finished. One man turned ouchie to what you are seeing now. A man that carry oil, I'm telling you, there are no dry lands. They are dry men. They are dry men. With the price. Say, I've commanded her to feed you. And the woman said, I've not had anything. Okay, but because you're a prophet, okay, I'm going to give you this. And after giving, say, go and get jar of oil. Now I have strength to prophesy. Go and get jar of oil. See, God robbed her of now pleasure to give her what will profit her a long time. And she could just stay there and be praying, and God will say it, and she will say, no. Yet she didn't know that she's the one. She's the one that needs it. Are you here? You went home. She didn't know that the blessings come to her. She didn't know. Sometimes God may just tell you like the Israelite to the Gibeonite. He said, go and apologize. Go and apologize. Some of you, all this nonsense, when I gather here, they pray for now apology. You need. Some of you are very wicked. You are very wicked. You have dealt with people wickedly. Some people have no heart, they have no remorse. They have dealt with people that show you love. They open their heart to pour out love to you. They open their heart when everybody would have made excuse to pour out love to you. People are very wicked. The Bible says bloody. Is that not what we read in 2 Samuel 21:1? It said bloody. Some people are bloody wicked. Bloody wicked. When people open their heart to you and you mess with their heart, you do them anyhow. After you do them anyhow, then you now come. Look at that's God using a vulgar language. And put it there. Put it there. Let's read together. Yeah. It is for Saul and for his bloody house. For his bloody house. Now you need to apologize. For the sin of Saul, you need to apologize. You need to apologize. After you are some of you just think you can toy with the heart of a lady. You carry the lady, you match her heart, match her heart, do her anyhow, scatter her. You bring another lady to the house, you slap her in front of that one, humiliate her, and she look at you. She look and say, because of this thing you have done, because of this thing you have done, God will reward you. It's enough. It's enough. It's enough. God will reward you. And from that day, even the thief you are thieving now, you are regarded as Oteka. From that day, Ogo warn me. From that day, I know a lot of you. From that day, you began to suffer. From that day. And you didn't know because you never made inquiry. You didn't know because you never made inquiry. From that day, some of you, it is not prayer, it is apology. Go and apologize. Humble yourself and say, I am sorry. Humble yourself and say, now there's no more, human sacrifice like the Gibeonite asked for the 7 sons of Saul. But then, apologize. I am sorry. I will not do this again. I am sorry. Now I know who you are. While I was watching that honest bunch of testimony Jaga, and while he was talking about some persons in Love World Christ Embassy, I just shake my head because you can be in the morning now and the Pastor Chris is not talking and you think you have won. I saw one of them stood in front of another church, and that's why you see, as a pastor, be careful of who you take as your son. Ask where he's coming from. Hello, me my big he go carry cause come meet you. Some people go carry cause come meet you. Testimony Jaga was emotional, and he said somebody abused his own father, came to you and took you as a father, and you too, you adopt the person as a son, and you became the father. He said your father. He said Pastor Chris called them for a meeting, and all of them did not show up. Who are you? I began to think of some of all these people. If not for Pastor Chris, they would have been like me, no visa to any country, only passport. If you are here, say yeah. Some of you don't even have passports. If you are better than your neighbor, you have passports. Say yeah. Now only visa you don't get. Time go. Some of you are not even looking like who you were in that passport again. This year, God will help your life. Now the passport officer, is this you? You say, is this me? Because I'm not understanding who is here anymore. When you don't wait on God, say, Jesus, help me beg your father. And in the actual sense, that's prayer. You say, I will entreat my father for you. So when you say, Jesus, help me beg your papa, you're still saying the same thing. Are you here? You went home. And Jaka was talking, and he was angry because we didn't know some of all these people. We didn't even know them. Some self could not sing. It's a fact. Yes, sir. Some could not sing, but there's a grace that you will hang around, you will blow. Some were busy screaming on the mic like me. Sometimes it may be your child that will come and pay it. Sometimes it may be your child that will come back and pay it. It is waiting somewhere. You think, we'll solve it. Wait. Be praying. If prayer work like that, do you think you don't know prayer where you don't pray? Some of you, that's why you even come to church late. Let me talk to these people that always come late. That's why you come late, because you have prayed all manner of prayer. If they say hold the POP, you have held. Hold the door, you have held. Hold your neighbor, you have held. Now neighbor does not want to hold you again. Yet it's not changing. There's a price. Have you ever been praying and you just feel like, oh, inside your prayer you are telling God on it, and all of a sudden God say, go and clear the prayer ground. That's the thing that just came to your head, and you discuss prayer. No. Lord, help my life. Help my life. He don't talk finish. He don't talk finish. He will not speak again. Once have you spoken, you must hear it twice. He don't talk finish. If you do not carry that cutlass and go and do that thing, sometimes you can, oh my God, sometimes you can be praying. I've gone to a meeting before where I came to seek God, and I end up blessing another man of God that came to seek God like me. Because that's what God is saying. That's what God is saying. You can be in church like this, the atmosphere is tensed, yet all your focus is on somebody that's been repeating clothes. But you can still be foolish enough to abuse the person, not knowing that God has beckoned a button on you for your prayer point. You look at it, that's when you now balance. Nothing. Just a shout of Holy Spirit. Have you ever asked yourself, why is it that in this time, this is what I can see? Have you ever asked yourself? Have you ever asked yourself? Have you ever asked yourself? You don't know price to pay. You don't know price to pay. I told you about the dream Pastor Eli had. Was trying to put some money together to get something, and he had a dream. And while he had the dream, God told him, God said, forget that thing in the dream, right? He said, no, God told me. God said, forget the thing and give me the money. So inside the dream, I was saying, I have more than enough. Now this guy, they collect. God said, leave him there. Let him, they collect. I will answer him, but it's not time. Let him just be giving you. So by the time I woke up from the dream, I thought about it, because, obviously, these ones, I have, we are one. So I called him, I said, oh, I'm seeing this, I'm seeing that, I'm seeing it. And he said, yes, oh. And I said, okay, God said you should, I just saw it that you should give me whatever, give me. And he said, okay, sir, I can't say it to you, because I'll just see my picture in Insta blog, like, Pastor that say. So I told him, and he said, okay, sir, mark that down, because one day you will stand there and be saying those things. Mark it down. This is the problem now. You don't mark it down. You don't see it. You just think you just jump. It came from nowhere. Who can come from nowhere? Even you, as confused as you are, you came from somewhere. Mark it down, because you don't know. You don't know. You don't understand. There's some price. There's some price. There's some price. One time God came to me. God, do you know why it's so easy for me to build a house? It's so easy. Do you know why? God came to me and God told me, God said, your grandfather built a house first before church. And I said to God, I said, if I do this, may I not end like my grandfather that gathered it. My grandfather gathered the cement of his house, used it to go and build God's house. And he died without house. And I said, Lord, help me. And by the time I built this one, after building it, I packed the sand here. I went to my own personal house. I said, Lord, if truly you have, some of you don't know the kind of speed we use here. That's where that Yahoo came from in this area. And they say it's a Yahoo church. It's a Yahoo church. No, they blame anybody. Sorry, you will believe what you want to believe. I packed the sand. I said, Lord, replicate the same thing in my house. I poured it in my house. My God, that house took 9 months. The one there, 9 months. This one like 6 to 7 months. This one here, 6 to 7 months. And the money that entered this new house could build this church and my former house. Now you envy it, right? There's a price, not prayer. There's a price. Go and ask. Go and ask what your fathers did to the Gibeonites. So you pay. Go and not always prayer. Be sensitive when you are praying. Be sensitive when you are in need of those things. Be sensitive. God may just want you to just carry food and give to your neighbor. That's your prayer point. That's the answer of your prayer. But now you quarrel with the prayer, the next door neighbor. Now you are quarreling with the next door neighbor. Some of you used to go on your knees and beg. I've been prophesying to people here and I'll say, buy clothes and give to your mother. This, buy that, give to your mother. Because I know, no matter if I like, I should lay leg on you. Nothing. Oh, you nothing. I'll say, go and bless your mother. Because that is what that prayer needs. I'll say, go and bless your father. That is what that prayer needs. Sometimes I can even tell you, go. Have you not seen a woman that I gave money and I say, go and give to beggar? How many of you were in church that day where I gave a woman money and I said, go and give it to beggar? I think like 3 years ago. And she went, and is it a woman or a man? A woman. And she gave to the person and she came back and I described who she met, right? I think it was this cakes and pastry side. And I was still in church here. I described who she met there. She just went and saw the person and, take. And I described who she met because that's the answer to the prayer. Are you here? You went home. We dare be thinking you need to pray. You need to pray. In as much as there's prayer, on your antenna of sensitivity. On your antenna of sensitivity, so you know what is demanded of you. On it. If you are going through something and the thing is going too long, on your antenna of sensitivity. Sometimes God will just tell you avoid this. Sometimes avoid that. Sometimes God will say avoid strange women. Avoid strange women. That's just all. That's just all. But you want the light strange women. And they pray. Because prayer is your getaway gift. Prayer is the way you run away from responsibility. You want the light strange women. And God say avoid strange women. That one is your. Do you know some persons will say, forget this tithe, it is Old Testament. And you, dear foolish son, you too join them and say it. Do you know tithe can be a covenant to some persons? I was watching Ojo Ingalo yesterday. And he said something. He said from 2005 till now, he said, I've never missed my tithe. He said, the first money I got was 15,000 naira and I removed the tithe. He said, and I've never missed my tithe. Till date, I'm not sure there's any footballer that's as rich as Ojo Igalo. Are you aware? I think there are two that are as rich like that. Ojo Igalo and no. Some are broke. What's this guy? Obafemi Martins. Mikel is not rich. Obafemi Martins and Ojo Igalo. Do you know where they've been in Arab and China? Till date, Ojo Igalo is still playing. You don't understand covenant. Imagine footballer, they say, oh, don't get money. So the brother say, you don't know this. You don't know how rich Ojo Igalo is. And Obafemi Martins, very rich. Covenant, and he kept it. And you somewhere, somehow, somebody on social media just come to you. Some of you listen to somebody that has never pastored 20 members before. 20 members successfully. They come to you and they say some of all those things. And by the time they say it, you didn't know that you are just breaking your own covenant. Then from there, grace begins to carry you. Grace begins to be your autopilot for some time. After that time, has anybody learned anything this morning? Has anybody learned anything this morning? So now, are you blessed? Now, are you blessed? I say, some prayer, go and apologize. Go and apologize. Pride will kill you. Go and apologize. I say, sometimes it may be just buy food. Sometimes buy clothes. Have you ever wondered? Sometimes smile. Sometimes smile. You are praying, Lord, give me husband, Lord, give me husband. And you are like Tukuro. Smile. All this fast that you are fasting now, that you are looking like Ebok. Smile. Ebok means monkey. Smile. Now you are competing with me. Me and you are doing first to finish 90 days dry fasting. Me and you, 40 days dry. And you are a lady. And you expect somebody to come and marry you. You were the set of people that tempted angels in Genesis 5, 6. Because it's only angel that will even see beauty in you. Because by the time you do that 40 days, so I am not blaming those that know that they are terribly ugly and they are venting out their pain by doing But then, you know, there's some things that are logical. You are praying for husband, you are fasting 40 days with me. Who will marry you? In the whole time of the fast of the 40 days, do you know how your mouth will smell? So you now sit down by your neighbor and say, "You're welcome to," and that's your. You don't know you can sit by your wife. You don't know you can sit by your wife. It was here. We were just here. Armless service like this. And I say, turn and look at your neighbor and tell the neighbor, "How are you? How is it?" Ask the neighbor how you're doing. Your clothes. I say, compliment the neighbor. I say, you might be talking to your wife. God showed me somebody, 2 people that were sitting, and God said that this one and this one, they should marry. They should marry. The 2 of them good to go. The guy should be here. The guy is here. It's my son. He's here. But then my daughter is not here anymore. She has graduated and gone. And he came to meet me. And he said, sir. I said, oh, anybody that gave you this advice is from the throne of grace. I said, God say. And he was anxious. As he left there, he went to ask the girl out. He asked peace of mind out. He asked peace of mind out. You not do that fast. You think that's where you will get husband. Why some of you are too stubborn. That's why you deal the way you deal. You are too stubborn. I'm telling you. That's why you are bragging again. That demon inside of you is finding expression. Me, I know I have stubborn head though. I know I have stubborn head though. I know. You go take. I'm telling you the fact. You go suffer. You go collect. I'm telling you the fact. I'm telling you the fact. Some of you have. Guess what? Do you know what? Be careful when you are around the prophet. Sometimes you should not have a mind of your own. Do you know what God said to me about my wife? God told me, God said she will organize your life. God said, this is your wife. She is going to organize your life. From that day, I start planning marriage. Organize my life. She's my wife. Do you know how many people are with somebody's wife? You'll be shocked. You just see Gio wife set tripod. They say, is that not Papa's wife? Is that not Papa's wife? Somebody say fire. God told me, God said, this one will organize your life. This one is your wife. You know what I did? Her birthday, I was to give her a gift. I thought about what she can bring back to my house. So I bought her a sewing machine. Guys, I'm giving you this next birthday, buy her deep freezer. She can't take it to her father's house. All those phones, all those things. Buy her long deep freezer. You'll be keeping your meat inside. Oh, I don't cast off the. By the time I finished marrying her, so I asked her, I said, how about this, your sewing machine? She said, it's outside. They helped me put it inside the car. As I speak now, I think you just gave your younger sister. So see plan. If God tell you plan, there are some brothers here that God will tell them, this is your wife. Instead of you to clean her up, and there are some sisters here that God will say, this is your husband. But because he need a thief and he need to do yahoo, you have left him too. Not everything bow to prayer. The Israelites entreated of the Lord. They asked God, and God said, your problem is with the Gibeonites. Ask God, what is your problem? Some of you, some things are standing as God in your life. God has told me how many times, clear your account. Imagine being somewhere and God say, clear your account. God has told this one to clear his house. He sold everything in his house, plus bike, right? Plus bike. Sold everything. Imagine God telling you, sold your house. After you sold everything, remaining broom. Because nobody will buy your broom. I wish we all understand some of these songs I'm singing. You don't know where we are coming from. You don't know where we are coming. People have paid price. People have paid price. That's why you get to a point where it becomes autopilot. Things are just working. Things are just working. If you are hooked in a place for a long time, mostly when you begin to see it from generation to generation to generation, go and inquire of the Lord. While you are praying, while you are thinking about it, try and listen to God within you. What is the direction? And if he says it, he can just tell you, this is your weave on. Go and give it to so lady that you have been laughing with. Just because you now need to choose between the weave on and your future. Be on your feet.